Welcome, food lovers, to another deep dive. Today, we're taking a really delicious journey, I think, through two of the world's most beloved cuisines, Indian food versus Italian food.
A fascinating comparison.
Right, because, at first glance, they might seem worlds apart. Indian food, you think, spices, complexity, maybe?
Yeah, vibrant, complex, ancient traditions, and Italian, maybe simpler. Fresh ingredients, elegance.
Exactly. So our mission today is to, dig a bit deeper, explore the culinary history, the traditions, the modern twists, and maybe find some surprising connections.
Sounds great, because both have such incredibly rich histories. Indian cuisine, for instance, of food is so deeply tied to spirituality, community, identity. It's huge.
And the sheer diversity is staggering, isn't it? You go from, say, creamy Punjabi gravies to coconut-based curries in Kerala, rice dishes in Tamil Nadu, rich biryanis in Hyderabad. It's just immense.
It really is. Then you swing over to Italy, and it also has this incredibly rich heritage.
Absolutely. You mentioned roots going way back, ancient Rome, Greece.
Right, and then evolving through the Renaissance. And Italy's geography plays such a huge role.
Definitely. That Mediterranean coast, the mountains, the fertile land, it gives them access to amazing produce, olive oil, seafood, grains.
It shapes everything.
Yep.
So thinking about the core of Italian cooking, what comes to mind first?
For me, it has to be that focus on simplicity and just quality ingredients, letting things shine.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's often not about, overly complicated techniques. It's about that perfect tomato, the fresh basil, good olive oil, letting those flavors be the stars.
And you can't talk Italy without talking pasta, obviously.
Oh, hey, it's iconic. But it's more than just the pasta shape, isn't it? It's the whole package.
Oh, totally. The sauce, the preparation, that's where the real magic and the regional differences come in.
Exactly. That's a key point.
Yeah.
You travel around Italy, the pasta experience changes dramatically.
So, what are the main distinctions we see, north versus south?
Generally, yeah. In the north, you might find richer, maybe more buttery or creamy sauces. Think slow-cooked meats, that kind of deep comfort food.
Right, like ragu.
Precisely. Then you head south and things shift. Becomes more about olive oil, some ripened tomatoes, garlic, fresh herbs, brighter, lighter flavors often.
Okay, so can you give us a couple of concrete examples just to sort of paint a picture?
Sure. Let's say you're in Naples. You get spaghetti aglio e olio. Super simple, right? Garlic, good olive oil, maybe a pinch of chili, parsley. That's basically it. It's all about the quality of those few things.
Minimalist, almost.
Yeah. Now, jump up to Bologna. You're having tagliatelle al ragu. Rich, slow-cooked meat sauce clinging to those beautiful egg pasta ribbons. Maybe a touch of milk or cream in there.
Wow. Okay. Totally different vibe.
Completely different. Both absolutely Italian, but showing that regional diversity even within something as basic as pasta.
That really highlights it. Okay, let's move to another icon. Pizza. Again, seems to fit that simplicity theme.
Absolutely. Think of a classic Neapolitan pizza. Thin crust, maybe a little charred.
The best kind.
San Marzano tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, a few basil leaves, baked super hot in a wood-fired oven. It's perfection in its simplicity.
And that global appeal, it just works everywhere, doesn't it? That crispy edge, chewy center, the balance of flavors.
It really does. It's universally delicious, basically.
So beyond pasta and pizza, what about Italian meat dishes? Do we see similar regional variations there?
We do. In regions like Tuscany, you get those rustic, hearty preparations. Think bistecca alla fiorentina, that amazing grilled steak.
Right.
Or slow-cooked beef stews.
Yeah.
It's often about showcasing great quality meat. Then maybe down in Sicily, you might find lamb or goat, sometimes in richer sauces, maybe with influences like dried fruits or nuts, showing that history of different cultures passing through.
Interesting. So the local landscape and history really dictate the ingredients.
Absolutely. And vegetables play a massive role too, especially in the South.
Okay, like what?
Oh, everything. Tomatoes, of course. Olives, eggplant, artichokes, fennel. The list goes on. They're grilled, roasted, put in sauces, served as contorni side dishes. They're fundamental.
It sounds incredibly fresh. Now, what about Italian street food? What's that like? Is it grab and go?
It's often a bit more relaxed than maybe some other street food cultures. You'll find cafes selling pastries, slices of pizza, pizza al taglio.
Ah, yes, by the slice.
Right. And small sandwiches, panini. It's usually enjoyed maybe standing at a counter or sitting at a small table outside. A bit slower paced, generally.
Reflects that whole Italian dining culture, maybe. Taking your time.
I think so. Which leads us to vegetarianism. You find vegetarian dishes, of course.
Caprese salad, margarita pizza.
Exactly. Lots of pasta options. But vegetarianism as a whole movement or tradition isn't quite as widespread or, let's say, culturally central as it is in India. It's more about choosing dishes that happen to be meat-free.
Okay, that's a key difference we should come back to. And the dining customs. Sitting down for a proper meal in Italy.
It's often a big social occasion. Meals can be long, multi-course affairs, lots of conversation, laughter. It's about enjoying the company as much as the food.
The course is antipasto, pasta.
Right. Antipasto to start, then a primo, which is often pasta or risotto, a secondo, which is the main course, maybe meat or fish, and then dolce, dessert. It's a progression.
Sounds wonderful. And are there big food festivals?
Oh, yes. Besides national holidays, there are tons of local festivals called Sagre.
Sagre.
Yeah, S-A-G-R-E. They celebrate specific local ingredients, mushrooms, chestnuts, wine, a particular type of cheese or sausage. They're fantastic for experiencing real regional food and culture, often tied to the harvest season.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's a fantastic taste of Italy. Shall we journey eastward now to India?
Let's do it.
We mentioned the foundations. Spices, rice, flatbreads. Let's start with spices. They feel like the absolute heart and soul of Indian cooking.
They really are. It's hard to overstate their importance. They're not just flavoring. They define the dish. You know, the usual suspects, cumin, coriander, turmeric, cardamom.
Mustard seeds, cinnamon.
Right. Each one bringing its own unique personality. But it's how they're combined that's key.
It seems like there's a real art to it, not just adding powders.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the balance. You have complex spice blends like garam masala or sambar powder, often made with whole spices that are toasted first.
Toasting them releases the oils, right?
Exactly. Releases the aromatic oils, deepens the flavor. Then they're often ground fresh. This creates layers of flavor that you just don't get from pre-ground powders used straight from the jar. It's a different level of complexity.
And there's that connection to health, too, isn't there? Like Ayurvedic principles.
Definitely. Many spices are used for their perceived medicinal properties. Turmeric is a prime example famed for its anti-inflammatory qualities. So it's flavor and well-being hand in hand.
Fascinating. Now, alongside the spices, vegetables, lentils, legumes are huge in India, too.
Hugely important. They're often the star of the show, especially given the strong vegetarian traditions. But even in meat dishes, they form a crucial base or component.
And the variety is just incredible again. You mentioned dal earlier.
Right, the lentil dish.
Yeah.
Seems simple, but the variations are endless.
Can you remind us of that example you gave?
Sure. A very simple common dal might just use ginger, garlic, maybe some ghee and basic spices. Very comforting. But then you could have a Rajasthani version using yogurt for tanginess, or a South Indian sambar, which is much more complex with vegetables and tamarind. Same base ingredient, totally different outcome.
That really shows the adaptability. Okay, Indian street food, what's the vibe there compared to the Italian style?
Oh, Indian street food is an explosion. It's often fast-paced, intense flavors, spicy, tangy, sweet, savory, all at once.
Like chaat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chaat in the north is a perfect example. Puffed rice, potatoes, chickpeas, yogurt, chutneys, spices. It's a flavor bomb. Or down south, you have dosa stalls, making those amazing crispy crepes right in front of you, filling them with spiced potatoes, serving them with sambar and coconut chutney. It's vibrant. It's energetic.
Sounds much more high energy than the Italian version.
Generally, yes. There's real buzz around it. It feels very connected to the rhythm of daily life, a real community gathering spot.
Okay. And vegetarianism, we flag this as a big difference. How significant is it in India?
It's profoundly significant. There's a very long, deep-rooted tradition of vegetarianism, particularly linked to Hinduism and Jainism.
So it's not a niche thing.
Not at all. It means Indian cuisine has elevated vegetarian cooking to an absolute art form. They're not trying to imitate meat. They're celebrating vegetables, lentils, paneer, Indian cheese, dairy, creating incredibly flavorful, complex, satisfying dishes purely from plants and dairy. Think of all the amazing dals, sabzis, vegetable dishes, paneer curries.
It's a whole universe of flavor in itself.
Absolutely. It's not seen as lacking anything.
That's a crucial distinction. And dining customs in India, how do people typically eat together?
Communal eating is very central. Food is often served in shared bowls and platters in the middle of the table, and everyone helps themselves, often eating with their hands or using bread like naan or roti to scoop things up.
More sharing from essential dishes, then.
Yes, definitely. There's often a sense of ritual around meal times, too, focusing on the social connection, the sharing. It can feel slower, more deliberate than just quickly eating.
Different from the Italian course structure, perhaps. And festivals, big food moments in India.
Oh, absolutely. Festivals are huge food events. Diwali, the Festival of Lights, is famous for its incredible variety of sweets mithai.
Loads of sweets.
Yes. Holi, the Festival of Colors, has its own special snacks and drinks. Eid celebrations often feature rich meat dishes like biryani or korma. Preparing and sharing food is integral to all these celebrations.
It's deeply woven into the culture. Okay, so we've explored both. Now let's try to bring them together, compare, and connect. We've touched on spices versus herbs.
Right. That seems like a fundamental difference in philosophy almost. Italian food aims to highlight the natural flavor of, say, a perfect tomato using herbs like basil or oregano to complement it.
Enhance, not overpower.
Exactly. Indian food, on the other hand, is often about creating a complex harmony between the spices and the main ingredients. The spices aren't just background. They're often driving the flavor profile, creating layers and depth.
So celebrating the ingredient versus celebrating the interplay of spice and ingredient.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
What about the street food contrast? The pace difference?
Yeah, quite distinct. Indian street food, often dynamic, fast, intense flavors, maybe eaten standing or on the go. Very much part of the street's energy.
And Italian.
More relaxed, maybe sit down, even if it's just a quick espresso and pastry or a slice of pizza. More of a pause in the day. It reflects the broader dining tempos, I think.
Seems right. And the vegetarianism point, that's a stark contrast.
Huge difference. A core ancient tradition in India leading to a highly developed vegetarian cuisine. In Italy, delicious vegetarian options exist, but it's not the same kind of a foundational cultural pillar for large parts of the population.
Okay. And communal eating. Both value it, but practice it differently.
Yes. India often features that literal sharing from common dishes, emphasizing unity in consumption. Italy emphasizes the shared experience around the table, the conversation, the enjoyment of courses together, even if served individually. Both are communal, but the mechanics differ.
Subtle but important differences. Now the world's getting smaller, cuisines are mixing.
Yeah.
What about fusion? Are we seeing Indian-Italian crossovers?
Oh, definitely. It's a really creative space. Chefs and home cooks are playing around.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, you might see things like pizza with a tikka masala sauce base, topped with paneer and maybe some onions and peppers.
Whoa, okay.
Or imagine an Italian pasta, maybe penne, but tossed in a sauce that incorporates coconut milk and garam masala alongside tomatoes.
I'm trying to picture that. It could work.
It can be really interesting. It shows how adaptable flavors are and how these two traditions can actually speak to each other in new ways.
It highlights how food connects us, doesn't it? The possibilities seem endless.
They really do.
This has been absolutely fascinating. It really drives home that comparing food like Indian and Italian isn't just about taste, is it?
Not at all. It's about history, culture, community, ritual, everything that surrounds the food.
Whether you're eating pasta in Rome or biryani in Delhi,
Yeah.
you're tapping into centuries of tradition, sharing, storytelling.
Exactly. You're partaking in something much bigger than just a meal.
Well, I'm definitely feeling hungry now and inspired. Maybe you are too. Perhaps try cooking something new this week. Pick a dish from Italy or India you haven't made before.
Great idea. Explore those flavors.
And really appreciate the incredible cultural richness both offer. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this deep dive and you're hungry for more explorations into global food, definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next culinary adventure.
Yeah, please do.
And did this chat whet your appetite? Let us know by giving us a thumbs up. We'd also love to hear from you. What are your favorite Indian or Italian dishes? Drop a comment below.
We genuinely want to know.
And tell us if there are other cuisines you'd like us to compare in the future. Don't forget to share this with any foodie friends you have.
Please do.
So we'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. Consider how that simple act of sharing a meal, whether it's around an Italian table or sharing dishes in an Indian home, carries so much weight, centuries of tradition, cultural meaning. What can we learn from both about our own connection to food and community?
Something to think about.
Indeed. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring the amazing world of food.